As we take a look at Ryan Day's record versus AP top 5 opponents, gets the win today versus Penn State. He improves to 6-0 versus Penn State. Likes playing the Nittany Lions, and so do Ohio State. Now 8 straight wins against them as well. Speaking of Ryan Day, let's go and hear his post-game comments.
It's a big game for us for a lot of reasons, and to get a top 5 win like this on a road in a tough environment, moving Donnie over to left tackle. We felt like, going into this game, it was going to be a difficult environment. We knew we had to win the rushing yards. Obviously, the turnover battle was going to be big, and then, X plays. And so we had to really focus on those things. But at the end of the day, we had to find a way to get a stop and get that extra first down or score. And that's what it's going to come down to. And so I think this is going to build us moving forward. But for our guys to get this win is going to go a long way. And, guys came back on this team for a reason. It's to go, win the rivalry game, win the Big Ten championship, and win a national championship. And so, along the way, I think there was this conversation about the expectations and all those types of things. And I said to the team, there's no great accomplishments that happen without going through adversity. It's just the truth. You don't just walk into a season and think you're going to go reach your goals. It doesn't work that way. That's just not the way life works. And so you get backed up against the wall, you got to respond, and that is life. So all of our goals are in front of us now, and we've been through a lot, and now we have to continue to build as we head into the back half of the season. But I can tell you, coming out of that locker room right there's a lot of guys in a room that are excited. Probably the most animated locker room I've been in a long time. And so now, what are we going to do with it moving forward? But we are going to enjoy this tonight. Coaches, players, staff, everybody involved, because this was a moment that we have to, enjoy, because a lot of work that's been put in for this game.
Over to the right, Dan Hope, 11 Warriors.
Ryan, this defense, to have its backs against the wall in that situation and get that goal line stand, what kind of springboard do you think that can be for this defense the rest of the year?
Well, think about last week. We had it on the 1. And then we get the interception by Igbinosun, going in at the end of the half, and then you add this one into it. So it shows you that there's a grit, there's a toughness, there's a never give up, give me an inch and I'm going to defend it type mentality. And you got to give Jim and the entire staff credit on defense for their preparation going into this game. Penn State does an excellent job of changing formations, motionings, different looks. They got Warren back there at quarterback, and looks like he's about in on that play, and he's just short, and we found a way to get the stand. So but it comes down to the players. Coaches can put you in a situation, but the players got to go do it. They did it, and I'm proud of them.
Stephen Means, Cleveland.com.
Right. Obviously, it's been an interesting, past 10 months for Carson. Obviously, having a job last year, losing a job this year. What did you guys see in him this week of practice that put him in a position to be ready? And where have you seen him from a development standpoint over the last month?
We went with experience. That was the decision we made. In this environment, we went with experience. Now, I don't know what he's going to grade out at, but you didn't notice him much, and that's a good sign for a guard when you don't notice him much. So we'll get on the film and see how he did, but I think his experience paid off, and he was a big part of this win today.
Rob Aller, Columbus Dispatch.
Ryan, you talked about an animated locker room. That may be one of the most animated you've ever been when that game closed out. I know you don't like to listen to the noise, but for you personally, was there justification in terms of the way you've always talked about toughness? You talked about closing it out. Defense did it, offense did it.
Yeah, I think so.
Can you just expand on your emotions at that? Was it relief? What was it?
Yeah, there's a lot there to probably unpack that I'm not going to get into all of it. But yeah, there's a lot that goes with being the head coach of Ohio State. And you can say ignore everything that goes on, but your players read it. Your coaches read it, your staff members read it, your families read it, and you got to stay strong in those moments. But that entire team, our families, they all believed, and so to go do that and accomplish that, what we did today in this game in a top 5 victory, it feels good right now. Now, we still got a lot of football ahead of us, but yeah, right now it feels good.
Ohio State head coach Ryan Day discussing his team's big win today, 20-13 over Penn State. It is an 8th straight win for the program over the Nittany Lions, and it is Ohio State's first road victory versus a top 5 opponent since 2006. Now, the 8-game win streak is the longest streak by either team in the series between the two. We're going to hit a break here on CBS Sports HQ, but when we come back, full highlights from Ohio State versus Penn State.